We are live. Welcome, folks. Thank you for tuning in to our annual now well the first online, but our annual Iguana Music Fund Showcase Night. We have been moving as many things online as we can, as we have been for the last 3 months that the club has been closed. And we were not going to let a season go by without bringing you the Iguana Showcase Night. So welcome to our little friend right up here, our iguana, our mascot for the Iguana Music Fund. His name is Leon. If you haven't met him, this is Leon. He doesn't talk, he just sits up there being very noble, representing the fund. So welcome, thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we are going to be bringing you 5 different artists of the 23 that received grants from the Iguana Music Fund at the end of last year. We are going to be showcasing 5 of those to kind of give you an idea of the range of projects that the Iguana Music Fund helps support. So a bit of overview about the Iguana Music Fund. It is an annual grant part of PASIM. As part of PASIM's nonprofit mission, we wanted to find a way to give back directly to artists and directly to the community. And so every year we have some very generous donors that supply most of the funds. We give out about $40,000 every year in small grants to New England-based musicians, or musicians with career ties to New England, or if you went to school in New England. And we give out these funds to do specific projects, and you're going to see some of those tonight. Sometimes they are album recordings, sometimes they are tours, to tour on a new album that they just did. Sometimes it's community projects where artists feel like they want to give back to their community as well. And sometimes it's the unsexy things like getting your tour van fixed so that you can stay on the road and keep making a living as a musician. And these are all things that we support through the Iguana Music Fund. We have just completed 12 years of the Iguana Music Fund, starting this fall when we reopen the application process. We're going to be starting our 13th season of the Iguana Music Fund. So through those 12 years, we've given out a total of, let me double check, over $433,000 to New England musicians. And some of those might be folks that are nationally known. We've supported Margaret Glaspie, Lake Street Dive, Aoife O'Donovan, folks like that. Della Mae was another one of our early recipients, all the way down to some newer folks to our stage, people who haven't even played our stage, but mean a lot to the New England music community. So we're going to be showing off a few of those tonight. But it's something that we aren't able to do without your support. Even though we do get a great portion of the annual funds that we give out every year from our donors, we also rely on the small donations, the $5, the $10 donations, and the memberships that we bring in through Club PASIM. So if you'd like to support the Iguana Music Fund going forward, please go to pasim.org/support. And if you get a membership with Club PASIM, you are helping us out. And if you donate tonight, anything that is donated tonight will go directly into the Iguana Music Fund opening up in the fall. And it's because of donations like this that we're able to keep the application process completely free. So this is not a process where we charge people $50 to apply and then use that money to hand out to other people. This is completely free, and so it's accessible to anyone who has a project, has a strong idea, and thinks it's going to help their community. So first up tonight, we're going to bring you a local musician. PASIM audiences might know him from his Quebecois trio, Jean Tacorum, but his project that he won a grant for this year was to start working on some of his own solo music. So I would like to bring on Yann Falquet. Hey, Yann.
Hello. Hey, Abby. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here with us. So I know that I first learned about you through doing your traditional Quebecois music through Jean Decorum and through your duo with Pascal. But this album, you applied for funding to help you make an album of all your original songs. Is that right?
Well, not exactly original songs,
Okay.
but I say original arrangement of traditional song. But what makes it really different from the rest is kind of a completely different approach. Where, like you say, I played Passim a couple of times with Jean Coram, and we play the folk festival circuit around, really around North America and Europe. And people, believe it or not, they want to see Quebecois music, and they come to see the show, but they want the high energy, foot tapping kind of party music that Quebec music is well known for, and is fantastic. But I think Passim could be a part of that. My ideas in there is just to go to see show at Passim on my off days and see just a woman on stage with a guitar. It's very intimate and very sensitive music, and I thought, oh, there's not enough of that in my Quebec music. So over the years, maybe I was on tour with Jean Coram, started to put together a parallel repertoire of kind of more folky arrangements of old Quebec songs. So they're not written songs, but often I will rework the music, of course, the whole guitar arrangement is original, since all of that comes from a cappella field recordings and songbook. So that is the gist of it, I would say.
Great. And so you specifically had gotten funds for studio time to go and record, but that has changed a bit with
Yeah.
with isolation. How have you been working on your project now?
Yeah, well, I liked when you say that the fun can help the less sexy part of art production. So it's not even, I wish I could say it's for buy some fancy, beautiful mics, but it has been for like mic maintenance, cables, all, a headphone extension. So my computer is here, but I
Yep.
recorded the other side of my room to be far from the computer noise. But all that has been so helpful, and I've been actively recording for the last weeks and months, and just really build confidence for the home recording side of things, engineering, which I hadn't done that much before that, and working on tons of stuff with Jean Coram, and also now on my solo project, recording these songs. So guitar and voice for everything, and see where it goes. If I can send that to other people who have home studios to add some instruments on top of that.
Yeah. So you're starting out completely solo, but ideally you'd like to add in some other artists?
Well, it's kind of a work in progress in the way that one of the reason I have done that project for a long time, even though some of these songs I developed over the years, a couple of years back, is I was so indecisive what direction it can go. There's so many direction it can go. So I thought now the grant was to record everything guitar and voice with a solid guitar arrangement, arrangement of the song. Song has a beginning and end, and it stands alone like that. So the idea is to have about 7 or 8 now that I'm ready to just to finish like that, and then see. It may sound great like that, or it may ask for other things, which is a good time, because I've been in parallel to that, we've been collaborating with a lot of musicians with my band Jean Coram, all recording from home and sending music over, and it's such a fun process. So we'll see if there's some of that on my album.
Okay, great. Yeah, I love that it's kind of an evolving progress. Like you aren't married to one style. You're going to see what works.
Absolutely, yep. And
Cool.
well, I'll thank you again and again, but thanks to the fund, to the Iguana Fund. Just I think what's great is that these songs would have followed me for years and years without me doing really anything serious, because often when you do that kind of, when you're a musician, you find a path that makes sense financially somehow. You have your group, you can make a little money, but also it locks you into a certain direction. And this just kind of give me a little kick in the butt to go a different direction for a while, where okay, I have money to put energy on this for a while, and I'm so thankful for that. So thank you for allowing
Great.
me.
Yeah. Well, why don't we hear some of what you've been working on? Can you give us a few songs?
I would love that. I think I'll do 3 songs for you guys. I'll remove my headphones. I won't hear you anymore, but I'll play some guitar. Just make a sign if somehow you don't hear me or don't see me anymore. All right. Okay, just taking my headphones off. All right. So This may be one of the songs that I've worked for the longest. It had followed me over a couple of years, and I liked it. It spoke to me because really it's about kind of long distance relationship. Us musicians are on the road a lot and struggle to maintain a relationship um, without being apart for a certain period of time. So that song is the case in that song. The man has to go on long travels on ship, and it's always a hard time when he has to part with his fiancée. And there's a saying at the end that is very nice, old French saying, but maybe a little bit cheesy, but also very nice. It says that love is like a garden, and you should tend to it for it to bloom. It's beautiful. Par un dimanche au soir, m'en allant voir la belle, j'avais le cœur tout réjoui, mais cependant j'étais en peine. J'ai rencontré son cavalier qui venait de la demander. I have a blank. I'm here in front of my computer and the next lyrics are not coming. Je lui ai dit, charmante brune, tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi. Tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi après m'avoir fait des promesses. Tu n'aurais plus d'amour pour moi après m'avoir promis ton cœur. J'ai un petit voyage à faire dans ces pays éloignés. Dans ces pays éloignés, la belle, si tu voulais m'attendre, je te promets qu'à mon retour, nous accomplirons nos amours. La belle vient me reconduire jusqu'au pied de l'embarquement. Jusqu'au pied de l'embarquement et tout le long de la rivière. Quand on est venu pour se dire adieu, les larmes nous coulaient des yeux. La belle monte en haut dans sa chambre, nuit et le jour se mit à pleurer. Nuit et le jour se mit à pleurer en regrettant celui qu'elle aime. Nuit et le jour se mit à pleurer en regrettant son bien-aimé. On dit que l'amour est une rose, les promesses de lendemain ne servent pas à grand-chose quand on est loin de son jardin. All right, thank you so much. Thanks for the comment, and good to read you. I'm going to do a second song now. I was talking about this project that I'm working on, recording these folk songs in a little more intimate, maybe folky setting that we're used to hear Quebec music in. Usually, I'm not the first person to have that idea. There's a great singer called Michel Faubert, whom I've listened so much in early 90s. I was a little younger and impressionable, and I was just listening to this music nonstop, and it influenced me a lot. Michel Faubert is a hardcore trad head, folklorist, very rigorous collector of song. He would go across Quebec and record elder singers to catch song that may be lost otherwise. But he's an interesting guy because also he was really like kind of a rock and roller punk guy in his look and his aesthetic, and the music he liked, and the way whenever he would perform that music back and give it back, all the music he collected, it was often accompanied by loud electric guitars and apocalyptic drums. It was fantastic. It definitely caught my attention as a teenager, a young adult. I'm gonna do a song from Michel Faubert, well, a song he collected and recorded. I don't have loud reverby electric guitar and apocalyptic drums, but maybe you can imagine them on this my version of his song. It's called Belle Embarquée, a beautiful girl, get on my boat. In fact, I've heard since I've listened to his records a lot, I've listened to the source recording from that song, which is an old lady singing the song, and somehow, even in this fragile, beautiful interpretation, you can hear why he had this idea of loud guitars and drums. There's something very powerful about just the melody itself and the way it was delivered, even in its most raw version. So this is my arrangement of Belle Embarquée. Belle embarquée dans mon joli navire. Belle embarquée dans mon joli navire du long de la mer. De la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie. Mais quand la belle fut embarquée, elle se mit à t'en rire. Mais qu'avez-vous, charmante belle, qu'avez-vous à t'en rire du long de la mer, de la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie. Mon bel amant, si tu savais de qui je suis la fille, je suis la fille du quêteux, le plus pauvre de la ville, du long de la mer, de la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie. Belle embarquée, belle débarquée de mon joli navire. Belle débarquée de mon joli navire du long de la mer, de la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie. Mais quand la belle fut débarquée, elle se mit à t'en rire. Mais qu'avez-vous, charmante belle, Qu'avez-vous à tant rire du long de la mer, de la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie. Mon bel amant, si tu savais de qui je suis la fille, je suis la fille du bourgeois, le plus riche de la ville, du long de la mer, de la jolie mer, du long de la mer jolie, du long de la mer, du long de la mer jolie, du long de la mer, du long de la mer jolie. Merci beaucoup. I have time to play one more song. It's an honor to be part of this Iguana Music Fund night here. Again, I have so much gratitude for the fund, for Abby, Matt, everyone who's managing this fund to be part of this group of lucky people who got some little help, financial help to work on a project this year. I'll be finishing to recording this song in the coming weeks and months, so please stay tuned, and I will tell you more about it. Thanks Abby, thanks Matt. Enjoy the evening, and I'll do this last one. It's another really old song that was it was one of the first batch of songs that were collected in Quebec. It was a man who came from England and did some traveling with the voyageurs, or people who were traveling on their canoes to do trade, to trap fur, and he wrote down a few songs, and that's where I found this one. But it's a beautiful song. It's really about finding courage in the most dire times, and really in this case is a story, an old story from France, about a man who deserted his regiment for love. And when people do that, usually in folk song, it ends badly because they always get caught and sentenced to be hanged. So but in this case, it was a strong, positive guy who's singing there. The song is about when he's standing there at the gallows, and just give courage to him and the people around him who have the same fate as him, by saying, "Courage, chers camarades, où est le temps passé?" Courage, dear comrades, where is the good time we had? Nous étions 3 soldats du régiment d'Angers. Pour l'amour d'une fille, nous avons déserté. Bon, courage, chers camarades, où est le temps passé? Dans mon chemin, rencontre une marée chaussée. On me prend, on m'emmène en prison enchaînée. Bon, courage, chers camarades, où est le temps passé? J'y fus bien 6 semaines sans être interrogé. Au bout de la 7e, mon procès fut jugé. Bon, courage, chers camarades, où est le temps passé? J'y fus jugé à pendre, à étrangler. Aux 4 coins de la ville, sur la place du marché. Bon, courage, chers camarades, où est le temps passé? Quand je fus sur l'échelle, je me mis à chanter. Courage, cher camarade, où est le temps passé? Courage, cher camarade, où est le temps passé? Nous fumions la pipe comme de jeunes cavaliers. Nous allions voir les filles le soir après le souper. Nous étions 3 soldats du régiment d'Angers-Vont. Courage, cher camarade, où est le temps passé? Courage, cher camarade, où est le temps passé? Merci beaucoup. Hey, I'll put my headphones back for a
Yay!
quick hello.
That was so lovely, Yann. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Thanks so much for having me.
That was great. So, is there any kind of ETA of when the album might be done, or is it really up in the air right now?
Pretty much in the air right now.
Okay, all right, that's
But
fine.
it's been worked on as we speak. I'm usually sitting at this exact position, but instead of you listening, it's a software recording what I'm playing. So it's
Well,
happening.
anytime you need me to listen, I can just listen. So just
Let's do it.
that's an open offer. So for right now, folks, Yann does not have a personal website where you can keep track of his music. Once that new album comes out in the future, we will be sure to let you know. But for right now, you can check out his traditional Quebecois band, Jantacorum, right down here. It is decidedly more dancey than what you've just heard. Lots of tappy, but it's really good stuff as well. Thank you so much for coming on, Yann, and thanks for working on this project.
Thanks, Abby. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. That's Yann Falquet, one of my favorites. I'm slowly learning like 3 or 4 words of French just by singing along with his songs every time. So I'll have like a whole song sometime. So that was our first performer. He was working on an album, his first solo album, and we are moving on to a featured performer who wrote an album of songs that are also very personal to her. And to tell you about these songs that she has been working on, I'd like to welcome up Naomi Westwater.
Hi, how's it going, Abby?
Hey, going great. Thanks for being here, Naomi.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you received a grant last year to work on this new EP called Feelings.
Yep, that's like the working title, but yeah.
It sounds like you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about some of these personal songs?
Yeah, so it's an EP of 6 songs, and a lot of my music that I've released previously has been kind of inspired by relationships, feminism, my spirituality, and this is totally new subject matter for me. So I'm really diving into a lot more social justice stuff. So I have a song on the EP about climate change. 2 of the songs are about race. Two of the songs are about just kind of my experience having endometriosis, and one is also just kind of about spirituality in general. So the EP is, I guess, hopefully a start of a conversation between me and the people listening about, some of these kind of heavier topics.
And so the songs are finished already. Is that right? You've been tracking?
So yeah, everything. I have to do some more vocals, but the band is totally tracked, and we've been mixing, and we are hoping to release a song in the next month or so. I just sent one of the songs off to get mastered, so we'll be releasing a single pretty soon.
Awesome. That's really exciting that you're still able to get music out in a time like this.
Everything, I'm just kind of, I'm relearning how to do it all, but people have been so awesome to work with.
Mm,
And, luckily I have a little office set up here so I can still do a lot of production stuff.
cool. And because you aren't quarantining with the musicians that you're playing with,
Yeah.
you produced a few videos for us to watch today.
Yeah, so I'm actually singing along. I'm singing along in my closet to the tracks. But you're hearing some of the tracks that are kind of almost finished. So this is like a whole little sneak preview, which is exciting. Um, and the first song is called "Thick of Things," and it's a song that I wrote based off my experience with endometriosis and having chronic pain. But I also think that it's kind of relevant for this moment in general that we're having in the country, where it's really just about someone who's just going through something really painful, and is kind of asking other people, like, hey, where have you been? I'm going through this and
Hmm.
I really need you. And so, yeah, let's think of things.
Okay, great. Let's take a listen to "Thick of Things." All right, one sec. We are gonna try that video again. Give us a sec with the tech. So can you try like unsharing your screen, resharing it, and make sure that like the audio box is checked? Shouldn't have to. As everyone, we are also learning new tech during these times. We did kind of a similar setup for Campfire, and we're getting a little more experience with this. Sorry, folks, we're going to try this one other way. I'm going to try sharing it from mine and see if that changes it. While we are getting this queued up a different way.
Yeah, I was just going to say too, I can also try sharing from my end if that's helpful. I'm not as familiar as StreamYard, but I also have the videos queued up in case you need them.
Let's try one more thing over here, but while we're getting that queued up, can you talk a little bit about what the process is like of recording remotely with your other band members?
Yeah, so I mean, I think kind of luckily I started this project as a graduate fellow at Berkeley. And so I recorded a few of the songs there, and then still had more music that I wanted to create, applied for the grant and got it, which was so awesome. And then just kind of by sheer luck, the guitarist Alex Bichan, who I'd been working with, moved to Arizona, but came back to Boston in January. So all the band members were all free and the engineer was free. So we finished at Ugly Duck Studios with the rest. And now really what I'm working on is I'm doing edits to my vocals, I'm re-recording vocals, and then, just kind of have been on the phone with the engineer talking about, certain mix things and mastering. The last song that I have for this evening is Strange Fruit, which is a cover of an old jazz standard. And that song we had already mixed, so we're really just getting ready for the master of it.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's great that you can find ways around our current limitations. So.
Yeah, I feel like the production is kind of easy to just like send files back and forth to each other. You're missing a little bit of the improv, I think, but yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, let's give this a shot again and cross your fingers.
I've been in the thick of things. I don't know where you've been, but I've been through the thick of things. Feeling my feelings. I've been here crying and bleeding, crying and bleeding. Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Feels like a bullet tore me up. And now I can't feel no love. Ooh, a silver bullet came and tore me up. And now I can't feel your love. Feeling my feelings. I'll just lie here crying and bleeding, crying and bleeding. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's so much pain. There's so much pain. There's so much pain, there's so much pain. There's so much pain, there's so much pain. Thick of things, the thick of things. There's so much pain, there's so much pain, pain, pain, I don't know where you've been, but I've been in the thick of things. Said I don't know where you've been, but I've been through the thick of things. Feeling my feelings. I'll just lie here, crying and bleeding, crying and bleeding.
So the next song that I have is called Americana. And it's a song that I wrote because I was inspired. I was living in Brazil for a little while, and I'm multiracial. My mom is white and my dad is Black. And my experience in Brazil was just very different because there's a lot of biracial and multiracial people there. And then coming back to the US, I kind of had reverse culture shock. And so it's just kind of a reflection on my childhood and growing up in a culture in Massachusetts in the 90s where there just weren't a lot of multiracial and biracial people, and really not feeling like I could ever fit in. So this song is called Americana, which is a name that Brazilian people used to always question when I would say that I was Americana because I look Brazilian. They always would say, no, you're not Americana, you're Brazilian. So.
My mother, she created me. White mother passed down her genes, and my Black daddy, he got in there too. So somebody tell me, what am I to you? Ooh, what am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? Tell me, what am I to you? White fingers chemicals burn me, but I was brave, I didn't care. Try to teach me knowledge, but I saw to the truth. When you showed me judgment, corrupting my youth. Ooh, what am I to you? Tell me, what am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? Darling, darling, darling, day. Darling, darling, darling, darling, darling, day. Ooh, darling, darling, darling, day. Darling, darling, darling, darling, darling, day. Cat calling as I walk down the street. Hoo! Brazilian nation has a place for me, 'cause Americana doesn't seem to fit. Lost all my identification. America, you buried it. You buried it. You buried it. What am I to you? Tell me, what am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? What am I to you? Darling, darling, darling, day. Ooh, darling, darling, darling, darling, darling, day.
So this last song is a cover, and it's an old jazz standard called Strange Fruit. And again, it's going to be coming up of my upcoming EP, Feelings. This is a song that I was thinking I would release in the fall, but I've decided I just sent it off to mastering. I think it's really important for this moment. It's a song about lynching in the South, and I think the song is very difficult for me to perform. It can sometimes be difficult to listen to, but I think the message is really powerful. So yeah, again, that is Strange Fruit, and I just want to say thank you so much to Club Passim and the Iguana Music Fund. I would not have been able to continue working on this EP without the grant that I received from them. Thank you.
Southern trees strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black body swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene. Of a gallant South. Them big bulging eyes and twisted mouth. Scent of magnolia, clean and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop. Here is a strange and bitter
Wow. Thank you so
It's a
much for that.
powerful song, yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for allowing me to play it. You know, I was thinking about the songs from the EP that I wanted to highlight, and that one definitely felt really important for this moment in time. And I guess I just want to say I appreciate everything that Clubhouse Theme and the Iguana Fund is doing to, you know, allow this work to happen. It's, you know, I took kind of a little bit of a risk deciding to focus on a totally new subject matter, and I'm really excited to use this music and create dialogue with it. So Strange Fruit is going to be the first single to come out sometime this summer. So everyone please keep an eye out, and, you know, hopefully the rest of the EP will follow.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much, and thanks for putting those videos for us
Of
together.
course. Yeah.
And I'm glad that we were able to be a part in this new project.
Thanks so much, Abby.
Yep.
Take
Yes.
care.
Yeah, be sure to check out Naomi's website so you can follow when that new single comes out and when the EP comes out, Feelings, in the future. And also for everyone that wants to check out all of the projects that have been funded by Iguana, you can go to passim.org/iguana and you'll see not just the 5 acts that are being featured tonight, but all 23 recipients that won grants this past year, and also all the recipients for the entire span of Iguana. So all 12 years of grants that we've been given out. We have the artists listed, and we have some project details. We're working on getting project details for every grant up on the website there, but you can go to passim.org/iguana to check out all of the other projects that you aren't going to see in person here tonight. You can also go to passim.org/support if you would like to donate or become a member of Passim and help contribute towards the Iguana Fund for this year, because we want to keep running this, and we're going to be opening the next round of grants in October, over Labor Day weekend. We will open the next round of applications, and we would like to be able to give out $40,000 again this year, and we can do that with your help. So up next, on to our third featured act for tonight. I got to chat with this artist a little bit earlier. We did kind of a preview on Instagram Live, talking about some other projects that he's done, but to here tonight to talk about his latest album, Be a Pain, please welcome Alastair Moock.
Hi, Abby.
Hey, Alastair, how's it going?
It's going great. This is so fancy. Switching cameras and everything. Very
You know,
impressive.
it's we're up in our game.
Boy, Naomi was great, and so was Yann. It's so. I've been sitting here listening to everybody. Good choices you guys have been making. Nice work.
Yeah, well, we had a good field to choose from, and I wanted to pick, a few different genres, a few different types of projects, and your project is kind of twofold. It was making a new album, which you have completed, but it's also about bringing that album into schools and giving programs to teachers and to kids. Can you talk about what Be a Pain is all about?
Yeah. Right. So the album itself is here. It is. In fact, it's done. It's made.
Ooh, shiny.
You guys helped me. It's very shiny. And the Be a Pain is a title song, and it comes from a concept that civil rights hero John Lewis often talks about, the idea of causing good trouble. That was something I wanted to, as I was thinking about how to make a more sort of overtly political album for families that could start conversations at home and incorporate older kids too. That idea of good trouble felt to me like a hook that kids could sort of hang a hat on. Like, that's a way to pull in, because kids like to be a pain. And so if you could help them direct that in a way that's useful instead of just annoying your sister or whatever.
Right.
So that felt sort of like a window to me. And the rest of these songs came out. A lot of them are about the history of social justice movements. Some of them were about contemporary events. There's a song about Malala Yousafzai. And my co-producer was Anand Nayak, who I've worked with a bunch of times. Fantastic musician known to our community. And the schools aspect was I wanted to be able to bring this programming, because I already do these assembly programs around social justice history in schools. And rather than try to do a fundraiser just for the album itself, I thought if I could make it sort of a double incentive, help me make this album, but then also by helping me make the album, also help me bring some of my programming into some schools that don't have as much PTO money to afford enrichment programs like these. And your grant, your $2,000 grant, was the seed money, and we're up to we've raised $13,000, which is great. So I'll be doing
That's
a
awesome.
bunch of programs as soon as we can get back to schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you having to put things on hold right now until you can physically go back into schools, or are there some digital things you can do?
I'm doing some digital things. I'm doing some programs with schools from a distance, but part of the process of getting into schools that don't often look for the same kind of enrichment programs because they feel they can't afford it, and there's it's not just hanging your shingle out and saying come get me. You have to go find schools that want to have this programming. And want to make time for it, and that takes legwork too. So I'm doing some of that work, and I already know I'll be doing some programs in the Malden School District, which is the town right next to mine, which is a very diverse community that I've been in once before. And you and I talked earlier today. The part of the work of being an ally right now is educating kids from all backgrounds about the history of race, the history of social justice in our country, and that includes educating the white kids in a lot of the more affluent neighborhoods that I go into, and I feel like that's an important part of what I'm doing too. But I want to make these programs as broadly available, and do the legwork to continue bringing them into schools that don't have as much PTO money. So thank you guys. You guys have been a huge help.
Great. I'm glad that we're helping you make an impact, but it sounds like it's really grown from the little bit that we've been able to give you.
Yeah, well, it helps. You tell them Passim helped you out, and then everybody wants to help.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Well, Alastair, why don't you give us a few songs off that new record?
Okay, I thought I'd work backwards instead of starting with the title song. I'm gonna start with a song that is one of the last songs on the album. It's called "Planting Seeds," which is what part of this work is about. And I wrote this song with my friend Sean Staples. November was cold as cold could be. It left me bare and windblown as a maple tree. I see the look on your face, and I recognize that place. I know you feel about the same as me. So I'm picking up a shovel in the morning, hand my old overalls to me. I'm putting seeds in the ground, and the world keeps spinning round. There's sunshine coming, just look up and see. Well, I know the wind will blow, and that January snow is gonna bring up something good behind. It's holding in the heat deep down below our feet, and now it's just a matter of time. 'Cause I'm picking up a shovel in the morning, hand my old overalls to me. I'm putting seeds in the ground, and the world keeps spinning round. There's sunshine coming, just look up and see. Well, spring is coming on, and the days are getting long. The winter time will be a memory soon. That snow is gonna melt, and the water that it held is gonna bring up something good. 'Cause I'm picking up a shovel in the morning, hand my old overalls to me. I'm putting seeds
seeds in the ground, and the world keeps spinning round. There's sunshine coming, just look up and see.
Are you still with me, Abby?
Yes. Yep. Still here.
Shall I keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were going to chat in between. Does the we never actually sound checked the electric guitar, and then I pulled it out. Does it sound okay?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for coming back, Abby. I just missed you. So, this is a song. A lot of what this album is about showing kids that leadership isn't something that you need to wait to be a part of. You don't need to be an adult to be a leader. And when I go into schools, that's something I talk about a lot with kids. And I think we're at a particular moment in world history when we have examples of that kids are really tuned into, right? We have Greta Thunberg, we have Malala Yousafzai, we have kids from Parkland out and marching, and we see it around us all around us in the streets just this past week and two. And I think it's so critical for kids to be able to see themselves in these kinds of movements and to understand that, that they can get involved at the beginning. One of the things that I talk with kids about is that it's not just out in the streets, that being a leader and working for social justice and making the world a little bit better happens right in school every day, right? The way that we treat each other, the way that we think about the ways that we interact with each other. And we can have those conversations at different levels depending on the ages that I'm working with. But I wanted to write a song that really illustrated a very simple idea to kids, which is that some of these mythical figures, these figures that we build up into our minds to be these heroic figures that can't possibly be real people, not only are people, but they were kids once too. So that's the name of this song. It's called Everybody Was a Kid.
Two little eyes staring from a crib, a tiny little mouth drooling on a bib, a tiny little fist with a tiny little grip. Before they grew up, everybody was a kid. Malcolm X was a kid. Dr. King was a kid. Mahatma Gandhi was a kid. The Dalai Lama was a kid. Before they got tall, before they grew big, they used to be small. Everybody was a kid. You are a kid. You got dirt on your hands. You wipe them on your shirt. Yeah, you wipe them on your pants. But one of these days, you're gonna get real big. How do I know? 'Cause everybody was a kid. So where you gonna go? What you gonna do? Who you gonna be? Yeah, we're waiting on you. We're holding our breath and our lips are all bit, because we all know everybody was a kid. Oprah Winfrey was a kid. and Angelina Jolie, even Bill Gates and Muhammad Ali. Before they got known, before we knew what they did, before they got grown, everybody was a kid. Two little eyes staring from a crib, a tiny little mouth drooling on a bib, a tiny little fist with a tiny little grip. Before they grew up, everybody was a kid. Ah, so where you gonna go? And what you gonna do? Who you gonna be? We're waiting on you. We're biting our nails, though we keep it well hid, because we all know everybody was a kid.
All right, so I got one more song for you then. And I would be remiss if I didn't do the title song from this album. It's called Be a Pain. And when I do this song, I show kids pictures of 4 people who are in this song. Rosa Parks, who they all know. That's the hook. And Harvey Milk, who they don't know. And that gives us an opportunity to talk about the LGBTQ fight for justice, which is one that is personally important to my family. I have an out and proud kid in the schools, and as this program of mine has grown over the years, I wanted to incorporate those issues in my programs, but I didn't have sort of a musical connection. There's a musical connection between what I do, the folk and blues roots that I come from, and the history of civil rights. There's a connection between that music and the history of labor rights. The Woody Guthrie songs are kind of how I cut my teeth when I learned to play guitar. But I didn't have that sort of natural connection to the music, the soundtrack of LGBTQ history, which there is one. It's just not one that I can pull off in any reasonable way. So I finally realized, like, if I want to talk about these issues with kids and connect them to these other things I'm talking about, then I need to write those songs myself. So Harvey Milk is in this song, and kids from Parkland, and a sports hero named Billie Jean King. It goes like this.
If you see something that's wrong, raise your hand and say that's wrong. Point it out and name that thing by its name. Don't stand by and stare. If it's wrong, it's your affair. Don't be quiet. Make a riot. Be a pain. Be a pain, be a pain. Shout about it and complain. Ignore the crowd and go against the grain. Don't be polite, raise your voice, do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain. When Rosa Parks sat on that bus, she chose to make a fuss. She chose to break the rules and take the blame. Her choice to sit and fight helped to bring on civil rights, because one strong woman chose to be a pain. Be a pain, shout about it and complain. When they say you have to move, say I'll remain. Don't be polite, raise your voice, do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain. Harvey Milk, chose to run for the council board and won, even though folks said you can't because you're gay. One brave LGBTQ elected leader ran and knew you can change things if you choose to be a pain. Be a pain, shout about it and complain. Tell him I won't let you make me feel ashamed. Don't be polite, raise your voice and do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain. A tennis star named Billie Jean told the world she had a dream that men and women would be paid the same. She refused to hit that ball till there was equal pay for all. She was a king because she was a royal pain. Be a pain, shout about it and complain. If they refuse to pay, refuse to play the game. Don't be polite, raise your voice and do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain. Kids from Parkland led the fight for something they all knew was right. They said it's time for us to finally make a change. If adults can't compromise, we must go march for our lives. They spoke out and led the charge. They all were pains. Be a pain, shout about it and complain. When you're faced with laws you know are just insane. Don't be polite, raise your voice, do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain. Last time, be a pain, shout about it and complain. Ignore the crowd, go against the grain. Don't be polite, raise your voice and do what's right. Be a pain, be a pain, be a pain.
Thanks, Alastair. That was great.
Thanks for having me, Abby. And thanks to Iguana Fund.
So are you still accepting donations to work on this project?
I am.
Okay.
I don't know what the website is. If you go, it's through the Chuffed campaign. I'll tell you what, if anyone's interested in learning about the project and seeing some of the videos that we've made in general, and then if you want to make a donation or buy the album, you can. It's mookmusic.com, what you have up there. And then it's / Be a Pain Project with some hyphens in between them. B hyphen. Don't you hate giving websites?
Yeah.
You'll find it.
Well,
if you go to my website, you'll find
if you go to this website, there's actually a pop-up that'll take you right to it.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, thanks, Abby.
And there's a very cool animated video for Be a Pain on there too. So go check that out, and then there will be an option to donate there if folks would like to help.
Correct. Yeah.
Great, awesome.
Thank you for helping me navigate my own
Yeah,
website.
I was trying to prompt you. You know.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Well, thanks so much, Alastair. Yeah, if you'd like to check out the music yourself, or if you want to donate a bit to help him get this music out into schools and in front of kids and teachers, you can go to mookmusic.com and help him do that.
Thanks, Abby.
Yeah.
And
good
thanks
see
to
ya.
everyone at Iguana Fund for everything you guys do. Thank you.
So that was Alastair Moock. We're a little over halfway through our show, folks. I'm happy to see a lot of these comments. Folks are enjoying the show. Be sure to check out the passim.org/iguana website to see info on all of the projects that are being funded through the Iguana Fund. I want to give a couple special shout outs to folks I see in the chat room. A couple other recipients of the Iguana Grant this year. There's Molly Pinto Madigan. She won. She got a grant to write a folk rock opera based on the myth of Tam Lin. I've gotten to hear some of the songs on that, and that'll be coming out in October. It's got an all-star cast. Someone else I saw was Katie McNally. This year is the first year she was putting together a Scottish and Cape Breton fiddle camp, and this is a weird year to begin a fiddle camp, but they are working around everything right now, and they're doing their inaugural year online. So if you're interested in that, you can go online, check that out as well. So you can see there's all kinds of projects. We got singer-songwriters, we have some trad folks, we have people writing new music, we have people dispersing their own music. We also funded a couple tours, getting some artwork done for albums, all sorts of things. So you can check out the wide range of stuff that we have been helping out with over at passing.org. Next up, we have another one of those trad artists. We have a fiddler who used her grant to help her get a visa to be able to stay in the U.S. and continue to play in her communities that she's built a strong bond with over here. So I'd like to talk now to Louise Bichan.
Hello.
Hey, Louise.
Hey, Abby, how are you doing?
Doing good. And hi, Ethan, who probably can't hear me right now, but hello anyway.
Yeah. She says hello.
Hello. I can't hear, but hello, everybody.
Awesome. Well, so Louise, you're a fiddler, and you are not from the U.S., but you've been spending you spent a lot of your career over here and a lot of your schooling, too. Can you talk about what it means to not be a U.S. citizen and what you have to go through to be able to play music here?
Oh boy.
I know, big question.
The reasons why you don't see so many bands from Scotland over here.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I came over to study at Berkeley, I guess 5 years ago now, and I came to study for a year. Here I am, 5 years later. And yeah, I realized quite quickly that that year needed to turn into a full 4 years at Berkeley, and that I would really like to stay and play music and travel around with all the great folks that I was meeting there. And yeah, that for that to happen, there were a lot of hoops to jump through. I've just finished a year on something called optional practical training, which is kind of a post-study visa, which lets you like work in the field you've studied in. So I've been playing some gigs for the last year, and yeah, and I was really grateful for a grant from the Iguana Fund to help me to apply for a visa, which starts tomorrow, actually.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a 3-year visa called the O1. It's the nickname is the Talented Alien Visa. So yeah, I had some brilliant lawyers in New York who also helped some friends. Mary Campbell used the same lawyers, and she got this visa last as well, and they were really great, and it was a huge amount of work to put together. I had to write my 3-year plan of where I was going to be playing and who I was going to be playing with, and project all my gigs for the full length of the visa, and I had to really prove myself, and I'm really grateful to a lot of great people who helped me to prove myself and vouched for me, including Ethan as well.
Yeah. So
yeah, Matt Smith being one of the
Matt,
amazing people who wrote a letter of recommendation for me. So yeah, I really appreciate all the help that I've had to get this visa, but the help from the Iguana grant really made it possible for me to
and
do this.
and like so just so folks understand, like the important part of this visa is it means that Louise can make a living as an artist here.
Yeah.
Not only live here and travel and play, but actually make money and be a professional musician here, which wouldn't be able to happen without these very extensive visas.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really grateful that it worked out, and that I get to be a talented alien for 3 years anyway. So thanks so much to the Passim and everybody there for helping to make it possible.
Great. Yeah. Well, we're glad to be able to keep you in the community.
Yeah, really grateful to be part of this great community for sure.
So you and Ethan have a few tunes for us?
We do, yeah. We're going to play a couple sets of tunes. We'll kick off with a couple of tunes that I wrote. Also kind of appreciation, thank you tunes to a couple of folks who've helped me through the years. The first one I wrote, it's called Adam and Eric's, and it was written for good friends on their wedding. And then I'm going to play a tune that I wrote for my friend Jacob for his birthday. So yeah, I'm going to take these off and we'll play some tunes. Okay. Oh. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. This is Ethan Satioan here playing octave mandolin. Yeah, we're gonna play one more little set of tunes for you we threw together today. This is a tune. I'm from Orkney, which is a group of islands right in the north of Scotland. Magical place to grow up and go back to, and I miss it terribly right now. And the next group of islands north of Orkney is the Shetland Islands. And this tune is a Shetland tune, which I just kind of came across recently and thought was a really cool tune called Delting Side, just an old traditional tune from Shetland. And thought we'd pair it with an old time tune. I believe it's called Squirrel Hunters?
Squirrel Hunters.
Yeah.
An old time tune that John Hartford dug up.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I thought these two were kind of similar sounding tunes and go nicely together. So yeah, we'll play these for you. Okay.
It's still working.
Headphones on.
Yeah.
My
Thank you,
screen went
folks.
black there, and I was really worried that I might have lost you all, but hopefully that was not the case.
That was great. That was lovely. With
Thanks.
that great background of those birch tree wallpaper. That's
Yeah.
so
Great.
nice. So nice. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Louise, and
Thanks so much.
and thank you to Ethan for accompanying
Yes.
you.
Thanks, Ethan.
You folks have a band together also with Ethan
Yeah,
Hawkins.
And Casey Murray as well. Yeah, it's called Corner House, and yeah, we were actually all set to make an album this spring. Obviously, that's not happened yet, but it's in the works. It's ready. It's there, and we're dying to make it as soon as we can and get together and play music again whenever that's going to be possible. But yeah, really excited about that band, and Ethan and I played duo together, and you mentioned Katie McNally, who's hello, you're watching. Katie and I and Connor Hearn, we're going to be doing a tour, playing some of my music from my album as well, and I was really looking forward to that and to playing with my band Bellwether as well. And these are all bands and tours that could never have happened if I didn't have this visa and if this the Iguana Grant hadn't been so generous. So I really, really appreciate that. And even if it's all on hold for now, it's still there for when things are possible again. And yeah, I'm really glad to have the visa in place to be able to do that.
Great. Well, we're glad to still have you in the scene, and it sounds like you are in all parts of the scene. So
Yeah.
so that's great. Yes. So folks, if you'd like to check out any of those projects that Louise is involved in, you can go to our website down here. She is also a fantastic photographer, so she's a very well-rounded artist. Does all kinds of work with musicians as well, doing their CD artwork and layouts and such. So she's an invaluable part of the fiddle scene around here, and it's good that they approved your visa. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks so much again. Really,
Yep.
really appreciate the
Yeah.
help and
Thanks.
support.
Thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah. See you again. Bye.
And that was Louise Bichan. I always need a little fiddle music in my day, so I brought some fiddle music to your day as well. And now we're going on to our final act of tonight, our final featured project for this round of the Iguana Music Fund grants, but we did give out 23 grants this year to 23 different projects. So if you liked what you saw here, you want to check out some of the other things, you can go to passim.org/iguana and see everything that the Iguana Music Fund has been supporting, as well as a Spotify playlist if you want to just get a taste of everyone that was awarded grants in the past year. You can also go to passim.org/support. I encourage you to become a member of Passim. Or to donate at passim.org/donate. We fund the Iguana Grant mostly every year through a couple very generous donors that give us the bulk of the fund money, but we make up that extra bit with you folks, and it wouldn't happen without you, or we would have to give out fewer grants every year, and we really like that round $40,000 number. So help us get there by going to passim.org/support, and by helping out Passim, you are helping feed Leon right here. So on to our final act for tonight. Our final act is a Turkish musician named Volkan Efe. Last minute, he had a family emergency he needed to take care of, so he cannot be here in person. But he did send us a little video just to introduce his project, and then we'll talk about it a bit more later. But here is a personal intro from Volkan Efe.
Hello everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot join you tonight But I am so happy because our project is still being represented by my dear collaborators. It is such a great honor for me to be recognized by PASIM and to receive an Iguana grant in 2019. PASIM has become an accelerator for emerging musicians with diverse backgrounds like me by helping us expand our arts and reach out to many more people. I'm so lucky to be a part of this wonderful community. Yes, music is so powerful. It heals mental and physical wounds, transmits energy along with some meaningful messages, promotes peace, empowers and inspires people to work together. The historic times that we are living in make such collaborations through music now even more necessary than ever, and makes it basically the only way to survive together and hopefully to even get stronger as a community. Our project benefited a lot from Pasim's contribution, and now it's our turn to contribute to Pasim's cause by donating our grant money to support more diverse members of our community who are not as fortunate as us. Thank you, Pasim. Thank you, Abby, and hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.
So that was Volkan Efe. He received a grant at the end of last year for the Makam Healing Project, and we're going to be hearing more about Makam, which is a Turkish style and practice of music. Helping him in that project is Teresa Thompson, Michael Harris, Tev Stevig, and Engin Hasamanji. And while not all of the collaborators could be here tonight, we do have a couple of them. So welcome Teresa Thompson and Michael Harris. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us, Abby.
Great. So Teresa, can you talk about your collaboration with Volkan and where this idea started?
Sure, absolutely. So basically the idea started, well, Volkan has really been holding this idea for a long time. He really holds the tradition, having grown up in Turkey, and he's been steeped in makam for, many, many years now. Some of us play together in a wonderful group called Orchestra Merhaba, it's a fabulous group of musicians who play and study and perform Ottoman art music together. And Michael actually invited me into the group about 2.5 years ago. So I'm pretty new to the tradition, still very much learning. But I've actually found my musical home there. And after one of the Orchestra Merhaba concerts in, I guess it was the summer of 2018, Volkan mentioned to me that there's actually been a longstanding tradition in Turkey of makams being used for healing purposes. And I had no idea, although I had traveled in Turkey in from about the mid 80s to the early 90s. I fell in love with the sounds there. I had always intended to learn Turkish music, hadn't gotten to it in my life really until just a couple of years ago, till I met Michael. And I was absolutely intrigued. He said that, this dated back to the Seljuk and Ottoman empires. And so as far back really as the 10th century. And this really spoke to me because of my own background working as a mental health counselor in the field of public mental health, and also my work as a musician. I'm a violinist. I'm always looking to explore the intersection of the two. So again, this was a longtime vision of Volkan's, and he and I just got together because I was really excited about the finding out about this. And we started to explore ideas to birth a project where we could explore this tradition more in terms of, how makam really affects healing with live audiences. So that's really what we've been looking to do. We got together, discussed goals and a structure for the project, and then we started rehearsing, pulled Michael in, and eventually Engin and Tev as well. We started rehearsing with Michael in the late fall of 2018 and launched our first concert in March of 2019. So that's kind of how it began.
Great. And so for this project in particular, Volkan had applied to get funds to help do one public performance, and then also to do a performance in a hospital. Can you talk about how you would bring music into the hospital like that?
Absolutely. So we've been in contact with the Shattuck Hospital with a music therapist there. So this is a psychiatric hospital in Jamaica Plain. And we're really excited to bring Macomb Healing Project there. We would be, you'll see in a couple of minutes, we'll play a video that Volkan has prepared for us tonight. So the format of the concerts we've been doing is that we begin by talking a little bit about what Macomb is, which Michael can do here if you're interested. And so Michael sort of gives a little bit of an education about Macomb, and also has audience members begin to sing the Macombs. And this really helps people to bring the Macomb into their bodies. We've heard from audience members that the singing part of the concert is really helpful in that it pulls the Macombs in and sort of activates people toward healing, kind of brings people into somewhat of a meditative state. And in fact, when we play the video, we're going to invite everybody who's joining us tonight to do that, to sing along with Michael and just see for yourself what the effects are in your bodies. So this is what we would do at the Shattuck. We would do some singing with folks. We did actually have the opportunity to bring it to Tomfoolery, which is an organization that I started in the 90s, actually, for musicians and mental health recovery. We got some great feedback there as well. So it would be part learning the Macombs, singing the Macombs, and then we would present the Macombs and or pieces in each Macomb. We usually do 2 or 3 Macombs per concert. So that's a little bit about what that would look like. And we're also hoping to survey people about their experiences and get that feedback. Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, let's take a look at an example of one of those live performances, and then we'll come back and Michael can give us some more details about Macombs.
Here's our home, and our home now we call La. So let's sing La. Is Sol. So now Sol leads into La rather than Sol being home, and La leading into Sol. La, Sol, Sol. Sol one more time. Sol. It's our home area of Ushak. We've already put Ushak, by the way. It's like the word ishq or ashq, which is like the heaviest of loves, divine love, and there implies some longing in it. And so now I'm feeding you things rather than you having me. So this home area of Ushak is like, it's a little sick with love, I think. We'll feel it more because there's a brighter area of Ushak too. We'll go there now. So we were just in do, si, la, la. Let's go to the bright area. Re, re, la, re. Re, re, la, re. Re, mi, do, re, re. Re, mi, do, re, re. Re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, re. Re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, re. Re, do, si, do, re. This is like our moment of hope. You know, re, re, there's some power in it. So let's sing a few more phrases there. Re, mi, do, re, re, do. Re, mi, do, re, re, do. Do, re, re. Do, re, re. We're keeping our hope, but our hope might break a little bit. Re, do, si, si. Re, do, si, si. Do, si, si, la, la. Do, si, si, la, la. Dedim sen dedim.
Great. So we got to see an example of the audience participation and the kind of the back and forth and the learning. Michael, can you talk more about what Makam is?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Abby. Hello, everyone out there. Peace upon you. Hope everyone's doing well. Makam comes from the Arabic, literally meaning station, and it's used in sacred circles and also mundane circles. We might even call a train station a makam of sorts. So it's a place you stop. It's a particular place. And it's used even often in the Sufi, the tradition of mystical Islam, having to do with a spiritual state or station. So there's actually a lot of parallel language between the Sufi tradition, parallel terminology, and the musical tradition. So right from the get-go, we can see that makam means a place, or it might have to do, that place might be a feeling. It might be an actual geographic location. It might even be a time of day. So let's see, we can think of some of the makams. The one I mentioned in there, Ushak, like I say, has to do with love and divine love, a very heavy, deep love. We have the makam Sabah in Turkish art music. Sabah means morning. It's often what the first call to prayer is across the Muslim world. Then we might have a makam called Hijaz, which is to a Western ear, very stereotypically Near Eastern or Middle Eastern. And Hijaz is actually a geographic location. It's the part of the Arabian Peninsula where Mecca and Medina are. And makam, in a musical context, it means mode as well. So each station is a mode, a different set of pitches, and not only a set of pitches like a scale, but also how you travel through that scale. What note must come first, next, and so on, and how you travel through that sonic tonal space. And in Turkish, we call that seyir, or the pathway. So that's what a mode is. We can think of other modal traditions across the world, much quote unquote, trad, Celtic music, Scandinavian music, modal traditions at their core. Certainly one of the most famous modal traditions in the world is raga. So from North India. So in some ways, raga and makam are synonymous in a way. In musical terms, they mean a mode. So a set of pitches and how you travel through that. What this group hones in on is the real participation, as Teresa mentioned, and as you saw in the video. So having not a concert per se, but having people experience the modes, experience the stations. And Volkan or Teresa sometimes draw out particular relations between a specific makam and a specific ailment or thing that needs to be healed. And that tradition goes back very far in Ottoman times and earlier. But there is no doubt at the least that these really do have an affect, and there's a feeling state that's very distinct in each makam. And so we really ask our participants to see what it's bringing up inside of them. So to have the conversation with themselves and see if there is some healing, if we can use that term there.
Lovely. And you're going to give us a little taste of that live and lead the audience in some modal.
Sure,
music?
yes. I'd love to lead the audience. It's a little hard if I can't see your faces and your smiles and hear your voices, but maybe we'll work in a maqam called Husseini. And I'll just give a few phrases. I'll go through the scale very slowly and a little bit of the Seir, and I'll repeat each phrase twice. And then at the end, I'll pick up my yayla tambor, which is this beautiful instrument here. Yai means bow, and the tambor is the name given to this long-necked lute. There's the mizrapla tambor and the yayla tambor. And so after I lead us through a few phrases in the Maqam Husseini to really draw the feeling out, then I'll just play a little taksum and maybe a little hymn melody on this instrument. Does that sound okay?
Great. Yeah. Take it away.
Cool. And how long do you think, Abby?
5 minutes is good.
Okay, great. Because you know, I could look up and it could be an hour later, and I'd be the only one left on the internet. Everyone else would be asleep. Give me a moment here. I'll put this down. Okay. Maqam Husseini. We give the tonic note as La. I'm going to change the tonic though. A better singing key. La. So whenever we make a pathway through this maqam, we always start generally and end on La. It's our home. La. First phrase. La, do, re, mi. And again with me. La, do, re, mi. The mi note, the perfect fifth in this maqam, is called the guchlu, or the strong note. We might translate it as the dominant. So the story, the feeling state of Maqam Husseini has to do with this relationship between La, mi, the relationship between La and mi and how you travel. So first phrase again. La, do, re, mi. La, do, re, mi. Re, mi, fa, sol. Re, mi, fa, sol. And back to me. Sol, fa, fa, mi, mi. Re, do, re, mi. Sol, fa, fa, mi, mi. Re, do, re, mi. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re. And re is kind of like a... If La is our home, mi might be the grocery store, and re might be the dog park on the way home. It's a distinct place, and we make hard stops at all these places. And then we might, you know, go different blocks, you know, take a different pathway between them. But these three places are very strong notes in Husseini. So we had the phrase, mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, to cadence on the re. We'll do that one more time. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re. And now we're going to make our way softly home. Re, mi, do, si, do. Re, mi, do, si, do. Do, re, do, si, la, sol. Do, re, do, si, la, sol. La, re, sol, re, do, si, do. That one again. Re, sol, re, do, si, do. And now we'll come back home finally. Do, si, la, sol, si, la. Do, si, la, sol, si, la. So this is a version of a Seir through Husseini. So we had particular pitches, what we might call in the West the Dorian mode. But Husseini is more than just Dorian mode. It's how you travel through those pitches. And there's also some microtonal changes that we wouldn't necessarily acknowledge in the West. So now I'll make a short taksim or improvisation on the Yaila tambor. And then I'll play a ilahi called Seni Ben Severim, the lyrics of which come from the poetry of Yunus Emre, the great Turkish mystic poet, and Anatolian mystic who composed and lived in the 13th century. Seni Ben Severim, I love you, Candan İçeri. I love you inner than I, the I inside, I love you. Okay.
That was lovely, Michael. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And so thank you to you and Teresa for coming on and representing Volkan's project here. So I imagine that going into hospitals right now is on hold.
Yeah, the Shattuck has been quite affected by COVID, actually, very sadly. And we'll just have to wait and see. We have an October date, so we'll wait and see if we can actually get in there. If not, we're hoping to be able to live stream. And for anyone out there, if you know of any venue, any hospital, any nursing home that is looking for live stream music to come in, we wouldn't have to do the singing part. Obviously, we could just do some live streaming. It would probably be one of us at a time right now, since we're a little bit limited in being able to play together at the moment. But this is not forever. We will get on the other side of this. And but yeah, let us know. Get in touch with us. You could email me, actually volkanefe.com. That's probably the best way to get in touch with Volkan. Or you can email me at mindfultherapies at gmail.com is another way to get in touch with us, and we can set that up. There are many people are in need of healing sounds right now, and I've been so struck by that, just listening to all the fabulous performers tonight. It's such an honor to be here with Yann and Naomi and Alastair and Louise, and reminds me of just how important hearing sounds and being in sound together is. So we want to thank you, Abby and Matt and Passim, for this beautiful opportunity and for the grant, and we're so grateful. It really lended our project in its early phases, credibility and encouragement to move it forward. So thank you very much. We're very grateful.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for doing this work.
It's a pleasure.
Hopefully we can have you and Volkan in the club physically also when we're able to reopen as well. But thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your project with us.
Thank you. We'd love to come. Yeah, thank you very much.
Great.
Be well.
Thanks for having us.
And that was Volkan Efe's project of the Makam Healing Project. Thank you so much for all of the artists who we featured here tonight, and for those of you Iguana winners that are in the chat that we didn't feature tonight. Thanks for coming and hanging out. If you folks would like to help support the Iguana Fund in the future, because this is we just finished our 12th season of awarding the Iguana grants, and we are going to continue that. So we would appreciate any support that you would like to give us. If you go to passim.org/support, you can get a membership to Passim, or you can donate directly to the Iguana Music Fund. And all money that we raise tonight from this show will be going towards more funds this fall. So over Labor Day weekend, we will be reopening the application process. This grant is open to all New England-based musicians, whether that means they live here themselves or their career is based in New England. It is free to apply, and help us spread the word. Or if you are an artist yourself, you can apply as well if you have a project that you think fits with the Iguana Fund. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thanks again to our donors who make all this work, to our Passim members. And I would like to give a special shout out before I sign off here tonight. Congratulations to the Honnets, to Chuck and Ellen Honnett. Tonight is their 40th wedding anniversary. And I can't imagine what Passim would be without them. I frequently refer to Chuck as Passim's favorite volunteer. And the Honnets also sponsor a couple of the events that we do at Passim, including the monthly Discovery Series, and they are great supporters of artists outside of Passim as well. So congratulations, guys, and thanks for watching the stream on your anniversary night. And thanks again to everyone who tuned in. If you missed part of this stream, I'm going to be leaving this up on the PASIM website. So if you go to pasim.org/iguana, you can watch the acts if you didn't catch any tonight. You can also listen to a Spotify playlist previewing all of the acts that we gave grants to this past year. And you can follow their links, buy their music, follow their work. They're some of our favorite people in the community, and it's with your help that we're going to be able to give out another batch of grants this fall. Thanks, guys.